What's up, everyone? Back with another mind-blowing video. Imagine living in a country where men are so scarce that they end up marrying multiple women. Sounds unbelievable, right? Well, it's happening right now in these 10 countries. We're diving deep into the reasons behind this unusual phenomenon. From cultural norms to historical events, it's a wild ride. Stay tuned to find out which countries are facing this unique situation and why it's causing such a stir. All right, first up, we're heading over to the most populous country on Earth, China. Now, you've probably heard of China's infamous one-child policy. For decades, this policy was strictly enforced to control the country's booming population. But here's the catch. Traditional Chinese culture places a high value on male offspring. Sons are seen as caregivers for their aging parents and heirs to carry on the family name. So, when families were limited to just one child, guess who they preferred? Boys! This led to selective abortions and even infanticide of baby girls. Over time, this messed up the gender ratio, leaving China with a surplus of men. Now, the one-child policy has been relaxed, but the damage is done. China is still grappling with the social and economic implications of this massive gender imbalance. Next stop, India. Now, India is another country with a deep-rooted preference for sons. It's all about those ancient traditions and patriarchal values. Sons are seen as assets, while daughters are often considered a liability. Why? There's this whole dowry system where the bride's family has to pay a hefty sum to the groom's family. So you can imagine how this impacts families, especially in rural areas. They'd rather have a son who brings in wealth than a daughter who costs them money. This cultural bias has led to a skewed sex ratio at birth, with fewer girls being born than boys. But there are organizations and individuals fighting for gender equality in India, challenging these outdated norms and empowering women. It's a long and difficult battle, but change is slowly happening. Get ready to be blinded by bling because we're heading to the United Arab Emirates. The UAE's gender imbalance isn't primarily due to cultural preferences. It's all about the Benjamins. The UAE's booming economy, fueled by its massive oil reserves, attracts millions of male migrant workers from South Asian countries. These guys come to work in construction, oil fields, and other industries, sending money back home to their families. Their presence has created a unique demographic situation. You have a huge influx of men, but not as many women migrating to the UAE. This has social and economic implications, leading to challenges in finding spouses and forming families for both men and women. Hold on to your hats, folks, because we're jetting off to Qatar. Now, Qatar is another Gulf nation experiencing a serious man overload. And just like the UAE, it's all thanks to those hardworking migrant workers. Qatar has been on a roll lately, hosting major sporting events like the FIFA World Cup. To build all those fancy stadiums and infrastructure, they need a massive workforce. Enter migrant workers, primarily from South Asian countries. These guys are essential to Qatar's growth, but it does create a rather lopsided gender ratio. Just imagine trying to find a date in a country where men outnumber women by a significant margin. All right, folks, get ready for a curveball because we're heading to Europe. Can you guess which one it is? Drumroll, please. It's Latvia. You might be thinking, wait, what? Europe? But isn't that the land of, gender equality and all that jazz? And you'd be right for the most part. But Latvia is a bit of an outlier. So why are there more Latvian ladies than gents? Well, it's a combination of factors. First off, Latvian men have a shorter life expectancy than women. They're more likely to engage in risky behavior, like smoking and excessive drinking. Not exactly a recipe for a long and healthy life, right? Second, emigration has played a role. After Latvia joined the European Union, many young Latvians, particularly men, packed their bags and headed to wealthier countries in search of better job opportunities. This exodus of men has left Latvia with a surplus of women, many of whom are highly educated and independent. So, if you're a single guy looking for a smart and strong partner, Latvia might just be your dream destination. Next up, we're venturing into the vast and enigmatic land of Russia. Now, Russia is no stranger to gender imbalances. For decades, the country has grappled with a shortage of men, and the reasons behind it are deeply intertwined with Russia's turbulent history. Russia has a long and bloody past, marked by wars and conflicts that have disproportionately claimed the lives of men. From World War II to the Chechen Wars, Russian men have been on the front lines, fighting and dying for their country. And it's not just war. Russia also has a bit of a reputation for, shall we say, a spirited drinking culture. Excessive alcohol consumption isn't exactly conducive to a long and healthy life. So, you have these historical and cultural factors contributing to a higher mortality rate among Russian men. This gender imbalance has social implications, leading to challenges in finding partners and forming families. Hold on to your borscht, folks, because we're heading to Ukraine. Now, Ukraine is another Eastern European country grappling with a gender imbalance. And just like Russia, its roots lie in a complex mix of history, conflict, and social factors. Ukraine has also faced its fair share of turmoil, particularly in recent years with the ongoing conflict in the eastern part of the country. And just like in Russia, war has taken a toll on the male population. In some rural parts of Ukraine, there's a unique phenomenon where men with multiple wives are not unheard of. Polygamy is not officially recognized in Ukraine. These multiple marriages are more like informal arrangements, often driven by economic necessity and a shortage of eligible bachelors in these communities. It's a fascinating example of how cultural norms and societal pressures can adapt to demographic realities. Get ready for some potato pancakes and a surplus of single ladies, because we're off to Belarus. This Eastern European nation joins the ranks of countries with more women than men. Belarus shares a similar history with its neighbors, Russia and Ukraine. Wars, conflicts, and good old-fashioned vodka have all contributed to a higher mortality rate among Belarusian men. But Belarusian women are known for their strength, resilience, and dare I say, beauty. They're not sitting around waiting for Prince Charming to sweep them off their feet. They're out there running businesses, pursuing education, and generally kicking butt in all aspects of life. So, if you're a single guy looking for a partner who's independent, capable, and ready to take on the world, Belarus might just be your perfect match. Next up, we're heading north to Estonia. This Baltic nation, known for its stunning medieval architecture and tech-savvy population, also happens to have more women than men. Estonia's gender imbalance can be traced back to a combination of factors, including its Soviet past, emigration patterns, and yes, even a bit of that Eastern European fondness for vodka. During the Soviet era, Estonia, like other Soviet republics, experienced significant social and economic upheaval. This led to a decline in living standards and, sadly, a decrease in life expectancy, particularly among men. After Estonia regained its independence in 1991, many young Estonians, particularly men, sought better opportunities abroad, leaving behind a surplus of women. Estonia is a beautiful country with a rich culture and a bright future. And who knows, maybe this gender imbalance will lead to some interesting social dynamics. Last but not least, we're traveling to the Caucasus region to explore Armenia. This landlocked nation, known for its stunning mountains, ancient monasteries, and delicious cuisine, also faces a unique set of challenges when it comes to gender balance. Armenia's story is one of resilience in the face of adversity. Throughout its long history, this nation has endured its fair share of conflicts and hardships. The combination of emigration, lower life expectancy for men, and a cultural preference for sons in some areas has resulted in a noticeable gender gap in Armenia. But amidst these challenges, Armenian women continue to shine. They are known for their strength, determination, and contributions to society. From leading businesses to excelling in education and the arts, Armenian women are breaking down barriers and shaping the future of their nation. As we conclude our journey through these 10 countries, it's clear that gender imbalances are complex issues with far-reaching consequences. So there you have it, folks. 10 countries facing unique gender imbalances, each with its own story to tell. From China's one-child policy to Latvia's emigration patterns, we've seen how social, cultural, economic, and historical factors can all play a role in shaping demographics. If you found this video eye-opening, make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more fascinating insights from around the world. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on our future adventures. See you soon!